Alrighty. Well, first things first, can everyone roll me a d20?
No, actually.
Alright, you just won't get one then.
Oh god, what was the command roll?
1. So this is how the night's starting off.
No voice modifier?
Oh, yeah, I will, once we actually get into the thing. I actually got it working again.
Oh, nice. Alrighty. As you all are dismissed from Kalela's pandemonium, there is a brief moment of placelessness where you're not sure where you are. The group of you, the 5 of you, are seemingly just floating in darkness, and you can still see the iron sphere of Dis. As usual, unable to make up its mind whether it wants to be as big as to where you can't see anything else, or as small as a marble in the distance. At any moment you look at it, it seems to change size. As you're floating there, you begin to see the different realms attached to it. You see the war-torn organic battlefield you came from. You see the beautiful grasslands of Kalelas. You see a desert of white sand that seems to be almost baking in heat. A swamp of low-hanging fog and purple lights that hung in distended sacks from the trees. Just a myriad different little bubbles of space, all hanging off of this iron sphere, sometimes floating around it, sometimes drifting off into the nothingness. And as you guys are rocketing away from this place, the distance between you and the sphere growing greater, that suddenly halts. You feel yourself, whatever momentum you had, freezing. You look around you, and you don't see Dis, you don't see Pandemonium, but you also don't see where you came from. You find that although you can't move, your eyes are able to perceive different angles of this space. In turning around, you all perceive, far in the distance, farther away than Dis ever was, a stone tower. Not incredibly massive, but like a cathedral size or something. The stonework and design is actually familiar to you, Finale. It's Lucindy, back from the continent. It is flanked by these crystals that are crystal prisms on top of it that are refracting light around. And in the very top of it, you see a massive bell of like bronze and gold that is rocking back and forth, the clapper inside hitting the edges and creating what should be bone rattling thuds. But as it swings side to side many times, you hear no noise and hear no vibration. As you watch the bell, that's when you feel the presence for the first time. Not hostile, not beneficial, but there and large, looming, bigger than Kalela, bigger than anything you felt before. A predator that's not interested in eating you. In it, although nothing touches you, you almost feel it pick you up one at a time and just inspect you, looking through you at everything you are before placing you back amongst your friends. And as each one of you is set down, your knowledge of angels is gone. You remember Kalela and talking to her, but anything about her city or who she was or her relationship with Melanie is gone.
Are we aware that we're missing something?
You will be when you try to think about it, but not. You're not aware of it being stolen.
Gotcha.
As the presence finishes setting down the last of you in your group, it seems to withdraw, disappearing back into the bell and beneath it, settling down low into the ground, seeping out among miles and miles of its territory. And then all of a sudden the tower is gone, and your momentum picks right back up as if you had never stopped, and you are rocketing back towards the surface.
Slingshot.
This is fine.
I assume we also won't remember any of that.
We'll see when you guys wake up. Okay, 1 second. There is a gap here of darkness. You don't really remember landing, but there definitely is a bit of space. I'm going to go one at a time now and discuss a few things. But these are not personal visions. Where Conry's thoughts begin, Mish's end. Where Vinali dreams of something, Midi dreams of it as well. In this darkness, the 5 of you are going to share these visions. So I will describe them singularly, but you are all the protagonist in each other's visions as well.
Okay.
Cal, you are standing on the hilltop. It should be dark. Behind you, it is dark everywhere else. But over the city, it's always bright. The high walls and golden statues that adorn it are not the true height of the capital of the Braylands. It is the millions of glittering lanterns and skyfires that hang above it, making the entire valley as bright as daytime, even as the moon hangs high overhead. As much as you hate it here, and you can all feel this palpable, visceral hatred for the city beneath you, it's beautiful. You want to dislike it, but you can't help but be attracted to the beauty of the suspended stars trapped down here on Earth. But you turn your back, hefting your pack, and leave. Hopefully, for the first and last time. Vinali, you are walking through the ruins, hoping that this time you'll find what you've been looking for, what you've always been looking for. That room, a room that will have all of the answers in it that you've seen, you think, in your dreams, or visions maybe, from Eliona. It's a wide room, big enough for an entire temple to be built inside of it, spacious with ceilings dozens of feet tall. Round daises rise up out of the center of it, tiered, almost like a wedding cake. But around that, what you're most interested in is the statues. 3 colossal statues, again, dozens of feet tall, that sort of stand guard over these deities, that watch them like eternal sentinels. And you feel somehow deep down that if you could see what they are, if you could see their faces, you'd understand. But you never find that room. In all the years you've looked, you've been trying, but it has eluded you. Next would be Juju.
Hmm?
Conry is standing on the bluff, looking down the valley beneath him, and struggling with the lack of visibility. The fog here is heavy and low, sitting right across the ground, drifting in banks, as far as the eye can see. So that everything you see is grainy and like underexposed photography. It's like cotton hangs in front of your eyes everywhere you look. But you look to your right, squeezing the hand that's held in yours. Because I don't know, Azur, could you describe Fiona?
Did not actually put too much thought into that. I'm gonna say, It's a really interesting question because I really didn't put any thought into who she really was on a external level.
Okay. If you want me just to make something, I can.
Yeah, that's honestly fine.
Okay. You see say an elven woman with red hair hanging down to her shoulder blades. She's huddled low to the cliff face, the same as you are, and looks scared. You can relate with that emotion, even if you don't remember much else. But she's holding your hand and you try to squeeze it reassuringly. Neither of you know where you are or why you're there, but you're hiding from the creature up ahead, the long trunk of crimson scales swiveling between the rocks, looking for the prey that escaped it, the growl in its chest rumbling the earth, frustrated that its prey has escaped.
That's terrifying.
Then we go to Mish. High in the mountains this time, the wind whipping around your heels, catching the legs of the robes that hang down as you turn to your left and right and see your brothers and sisters of the order. They survey the gray and green and yellow valleys beneath, and the collections of people in their toy houses, looking like so many ants from this elevation. You turn and look behind you and see the temple, the hidden monastery, far enough away from prying eyes of Defiance or Twain or, well, even Tethys had it still been here. Those ants down below don't understand the importance of the fire you're nurturing here, of what you're trying to heal, what you're trying to fix. And soon enough, it will be strong again. Then you'll cleanse this entire land of everything that befouls it.
I see. So I have chosen death.
Well, and to be clear for you, that is not a memory you have. You do not know where that place was.
Mm-hmm.
For Midi, you are on the bow of a ship. It is completely windless on the sea today. The cloud cover overhead is impenetrable, but flat, and there's not a single whiff of a breeze. The sails of the ship hang completely still, the glassy texture of the sea smooth. The little bit of light that is let in, though, from overhead, casting down in rays, illuminates the golden orangey hue of the water beneath you. It is like so many, it's like a sea of honey, of melted topaz flowing beneath you. But the crew members looking around are nervous. They seem antsy. And you see why as you look at it where they point at the spot of red spreading on the sea. The puddle grows and expands to cover a section of the sea larger than your boat. Blood, heavy in the water, and you see shapes beneath, dark and moving. You suck the breath and hold it into your chest, trying to fight off the fear as the black fin, angular and sharp, pierces up out of the water in a sloping arc, and at its height casts a shadow totally covering, even larger than your ship's mast, before it sinks back down into the water. One by one, at the end of these tangled visions, you guys begin to wake. And as the first of you look around, you come to recognize the familiar stone wrought tower that you previously spent some time in. It's cold, but there are braziers going, providing some heat, and as you all start to pick yourselves up, you see that you are all covered in blankets as much as could be provided. Someone has been trying to keep you warm.
Well, that was weird. Do we remember those visions?
You remember those visions? To anyone, well, let's just have everyone roll me an intelligence save, everybody.
I think I'd like to use Favored by the Gods.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Ooh, good roll.
So
Nice.
that becomes a 16?
Yes.
Okay, so Vinali, Mish, and Conry remember the bell tower. The other two do not.
That was an interesting experience.
So that was weird.
Say that again.
Oh, you have that dream too.
That's for sure a dream.
Yeah. Kinda weird, but not complaining. At least we're alive. I can handle weird dreams. That said, how are you all doing? Any adverse effects after drinking the punch?
I want to go back to sleep.
That's normal, I guess.
I feel like the most important question is how did we end up here?
Where is here? Speaking of that, Connor's never been here, so I don't think.
I don't even know where here is.
We're in the middle of the Whitewood.
So we're in friendly territory, at least. Well, friendly, but not safe.
Hmm.
Granted, it looks like something's trying to keep us from fighting it out here.
Which is still appreciated.
Vanelli's going to turn to Mitty as a thought occurs. You don't suppose it's that spirit, do you?
The winter seed?
Well, specifically the one the part of the winter seed that we saw take form. You think she came out here and was trying to keep us safe?
Maybe we'll ponder that for a moment. I don't think spirits could interact with physical things.
Well, nobody's responded to us chattering so far, so I'm not sure if anybody's physically here.
Could be our favorite dark elf.
That is true. Where is she?
Looking around the closed tower, you do not see the dark elf that was with you previously in Pandemonium.
Well,
Shit.
she made it out okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Would have loved to return her to the builders. Maybe build back some of that goodwill that we have burned like a wildfire.
Context? Was I there for that?
Yes.
I think
Is-
so, yeah.
Is that referring to the time we actually killed a few workers just to get the gate to open?
What?
Never mind. I'll try to confirm that later.
But yeah, and just in case I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but just to be clear, you all also witnessed each other's dreams there. If I wasn't super clear
Yeah.
with that,
So we all
Yeah.
saw all of this.
Were we... You said that we were the protagonists of it. Are we able to discern at least the individual we were? Or is it just we all think we were, and therefore we were?
you were seeing through their eyes, like recounting their memories, but it was still the person. So, like looking down, you saw Conry's hand grasping the woman. You saw Cal standing on the edge above the city.
Okay.
Conry, did you know that woman that was in that dream we had?
Nope. Or if I do, I don't remember.
That's not especially helpful. Not that it's your fault.
Yeah, thanks.
Vanilla just lets out a sigh, having a lead dashed once again.
Someone you know?
Someone I'm trying to find.
Anyone trained in history could make a roll for me.
Not I.
Oh, is it just Finale?
Oof. I'm the only nerd.
Okay. Obviously, you don't know an exact location, but there was something about the vista of that vision that stood out to you, and that it was definitely in the Foglands. Which, if you need some refresher on why, that's fine. But might explain why Conry doesn't remember her.
Very true.
So, does anyone know exactly where that place was?
Which place in particular? There were several that we saw.
You know, that one over the vista? The one that looked kind of nice, actually? Like a decent spot to go. Once all this is said and done.
Well, that sounds like you're talking about the city.
Yeah. Am I wrong in that regard?
Well, I believe it was... It's a bit confusing because we look so similar, but I believe that was Cal that was we were seeing through at that point.
Hmm. So, Cal, do you know the place?
Yeah. That would have been the Braylands.
Ah. Hmm.
If it helps for this discussion, I'll move you guys to the map.
Where's the Braylands?
So Braylands, referring to this region, which probably I think most of you would know as the home of the elves.
Can you highlight that again? Ah, okay. Hmm. Like, Mitchell just, like, scratched the side of her head. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe that's our next target? I guess? Because, I mean, I've heard of prophetic dreams and all that.
I would certainly hope not.
Yeah?
Well, don't forget we do still have business on the surface above us.
Well, no, I mean, like, after we resolve this. Like, our current business, is maybe that's our next target.
Well, good luck with that.
Hmm.
We Zoan don't like foreigners out in our place, but those elves, they take it to a new level.
Oh. Okay, so then what was that other place? The one that had, like, the ocean of honey?
The ocean?
Yeah, like, something that could have been like a trick of the light, but like, I could have sworn the ocean looked like honey to me.
I
Well,
more
Just,
interested in what that giant creature was.
yeah, that.
if
Yeah,
Mish
yeah.
is right about these being prophetic dreams, that's probably my near future.
To fight for an ocean of honey?
Not 4, I need to cross it.
Cal, you would know from your time in the Dell that the seas south of everything, the Amber Twins are known. They got their name from the color they take on the sunlight.
Okay. I'll go ahead and explain that just in case, since it sounds like Mish might have been a little lost on that fact. That they know it's not actually honey. I think.
Wait, it's not? Aww.
Do you really think ships could sail through honey?
I know you can swim through it.
You do?
Yeah! You've never
How
tried?
do you know that?
You've never been?
No.
Huh?
I don't think so.
Damn rich people.
No, more like that's how I was taught how to swim. Either swim out or you don't.
Not a
Listen,
problem.
Mish, we all know that you were born with a silver spoon, but
Oh, come on!
this constant bragging about it is not getting us anywhere.
Who would need to
It's
learn
not
how
a
to swim?
brag. It's literally how we learned how to swim. Like, granted, the viscosity makes it very awkward to move around, but you know, it's possible.
Where does one even get that amount of honey?
It's a lot of bees.
I'm having to make a place for a giant apiary near Defiance now.
And it's like, you know, it wasn't pleasant, if that's what you think.
Welcome to Beatropolis.
Wait,
Like, it was
I've
all-
got it, Rin. There are bee zoans.
Oh my gosh.
No. Wait, wouldn't they be more related to the I'm blanking on their name right now. Because they're insects?
The Urukai?
The archive.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god.
That makes me uncomfortable, and I'm not really sure why, but I really don't like that.
Well, you don't like bee people?
You don't like jazz?
See, the concept of having people-sized bees that we are still harvesting their honey is a little.
Maybe
Well,
it's
we're
an
not
export.
harvesting, we're
Maybe it's
trading.
trading, yeah.
It'll be like that episode of Futurama where the giant killer bees.
What you
Buzz,
export
buzz,
is
buzz,
their-
buzz, buzz.
Is their honey. Their honey.
But, yeah. I mean, maybe she'll just, like, scratch the back of her head. Granted, I don't know what the heck my dream was all about, but that was weird.
You want something you got something you want to reveal to us, Mish?
No. Granted, I don't know why everyone is gearing up for war. That's kind of weird, because that's not what we do. You didn't hear that. Shit.
Yeah, there was definitely a we there.
No, I said nothing of that sort. No, totally nothing. You heard nothing.
So to rephrase the question, is there anything you don't want to tell us?
You know, Mish, we are out in the middle of a wintry forest where no one dares tread.
Really? We're doing the whole, well, I'll kill you if you don't tell us thing?
No. It's really just reminding you of
I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you either.
Look, if anything, we just make sure that whatever is downstairs, you know, doesn't interfere upstairs too much. Granted, it's supposed to be a quiet thing, but you know, sometimes they make themselves public.
Well, as long as your definition of unclean remains demonic, then I guess we don't have a problem here.
Well, again, we just make sure that the downstairs doesn't upset the upstairs too much. I mean, that's how I've simplified it. Granted, it gets way more in depth, but I kinda zoned out, to be honest. What?
Oh, any other questions for each other about what you saw?
None of this makes much sense to Connery, but to be fair, not much does make sense to Connery right now.
Mitty will turn to Cal and say, you're a sea person, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
You got any idea what the hell that thing was that we saw in my dream?
Would I know?
Do you?
Would I know?
Roll Cal, and just Cal. Roll a religion check.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, the very first thought, you try to think of anything natural that could have been that monstrously sized fin, and immediately come up short. You have never sailed on one of the Amber Twins. You were specifically a privateer of the Silver Sea. The only people who go out to the Amber Twins are people that are trying to find what's out there, and most of them have a death wish because few come back, and the ones that do are often scarred either mentally, physically, or both. So you know there's some weird shit out there. But there was something about exactly what you saw and about the reverence that and fear that some of the sailors in Midi's vision had towards it that makes you think of some of the uh they call them the Merc dwellers, the people that have come back from the Amber Twins and have been changed. You had a few of them on your crew, people with fish-like features or tentacles where they used to have limbs. And they all spoke about the many faces, the 7 of them, the 7 heads of he who lurks below, the Great
Hello?
One. Hello?
Sure, one sec.
Okay. But there's all these names and snippets, but you never really asked too much about it, but that's what it made you immediately think of. Something, not just a creature, but something of worship.
Okay.
So, with that, how would you like to answer, Midi?
Mm,
Interesting answer.
I'll tell him that my knowledge is kind of secondhand. Like, I've never been to that part of the world. Obviously, I haven't traveled. Like you said, I haven't traveled the Amber. I've only traveled at Silver. So, I have talked to people and had people on my ship crew, but I wouldn't really know where to begin other than past what they told me.
Midi will kind of scratch the back of his head. Well, at least I won't be going into that blind then. Don't know how much good that'll do, but I guess it is a bit ironic having to fight what is essentially a god in order to, well, get past it.
Yeah, trying to be clearer. I guess if I could give you a name for you guys to think about in the future. It's the 7 heads. That's just what they're called. It is a deity, not 7. It's one god that apparently has 7 forms it takes in the Amber that is responsible for a lot of the fucked up things that go on there.
Midi's going to ponder for a long time on how he's going to go about killing a giant fish like that.
Yes, I do feel like that part of whatever it was that we saw probably shouldn't be our immediate next stop.
Hello?
Hi,
Hi, sorry about that.
you're good. What given it's about, we'll go a little bit longer before we break. Unless was that what you had to step away for?
Oh no, what I have to step away for is significantly longer.
Okay.
Like at 7:30, I'll bounce.
Gotcha. All right. But yeah. So any other discussions about the visions, or are you guys pretty talked out?
I do have one particular question. It has to do with those who said who came back from the Amber twins.
Mm-hmm.
Would Mish know something, given that her order would probably find that to be them suitable targets?
Yeah. So Merc dwellers are very few in number because, as I said, not a lot of people survive those trips, and they almost all live in the Dell. You wouldn't have one of them that becomes an expat in Lucindel, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
But your order is aware of them, and they are definitely considered unclean.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
one of those things where I don't think your clerics and hunters operate in the Dell necessarily, but if you found one, that's worth purging.
Mm-hmm. Like with utmost impunity, you'd say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, I just wanted clarity on that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's going to complicate things if I'm not saying this in character, but I feel like that's going to complicate things if we need to have them crewing a ship so they're the experts that can get us through wherever it is we're supposed to go.
Mm. And then you just have Mish going, yeah, no, I'm gonna casually just stab him.
And there I go killing again. But otherwise, you good. Those of you that well, that hasn't been addressed. Those of you that did remember the bell tower incident, I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that.
The bell tower incident?
With the thing that took our memories of the angels. Or no, I'm not saying that in character. I thought you were asking that.
Yeah, I was asking for clarity.
Okay.
So I thought we wouldn't remember that.
It is Mish, Conry, and Venali remember it.
Oh, okay. So Mishal will just be the one to bring up. So, do you guys remember anything else happening?
The bell?
Yeah, that. And like that thing that came out of it. Like it took something. But I don't remember what it was. Is that weird?
No, I don't remember either.
Hmm.
Yes, that is peculiar.
Like, I don't know why. I just feel like that's important. And that it being gone is a kind of a bad thing.
Finale's gonna rack his brain a little bit and to try and see if the imagery of that bell tower rings any bells. Haha.
Okay. Make either a history check or a religion check.
Same bonus either way. I'm gonna go religion. Should have done history. No.
Yeah.
Can I help in that regard? Since it's
No.
religion? Oh, okay.
You wouldn't know it now. You recognize some of the architecture style of the tower as Lucindy. Beyond that, it does not. What you saw does not ring any bells. Haha.
Okay. I don't know what that was, but it seems like it should be a solvable mystery. Perhaps that should be our focus after we prevent a war.
Hmm. Agreed. That said, I guess our next move is just packing up and heading back.
Well, I would like to make sure that our Dark Elf friend made it back to the Builders okay.
Hmm. Okay, we can do that.
Okay, so I'll say it's around this time then that the closed door to the tower will open into the inside, and you see stepping in, bringing ice and snow with her, is a dark elf, clad in leather armor and wielding a short bow. At her side, she steps in kind of hurriedly and closes the door behind her. She'll turn and see all of you awake and sort of sitting in a circle and talking, and just, oh, it's good to see you all awake.
Hi again.
I honestly wasn't sure what to do with you all after the first couple of days of you being out, but, well,
Wait, days?
yeah, this would be going on close to the third night since we got out of Pandemonium.
I'm gonna sleep that long.
Well, you haven't been awake for me to talk to you or get you to move.
Damn.
That's still oddly concerning. Like
Were
Mish
we
just
all
has that
brought
haunted
back
look.
here, or did you bring us here from outside?
We were in the Whitewood. I dragged you as far as I could to shelter.
Still very curious that even in this general area is where we wound up.
Curious, I guess, but well, the creatures of the Whitewood have been hungry for you, so it's been a bit of a time keeping them off you long enough for you to wake up.
Oh, I think she wants to see us.
Sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say, oh, I think she wants to see us.
She will turn her head at that and say, I'm just glad that you guys can help me get you out of here now. I'm tired of fighting the undead.
Oh. Huh.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah. Like Mish will get up, and does like muscle fatigue kick in?
I mean, you're all a little maybe sore, but actually you don't feel that bad. You feel pretty. It doesn't feel like you slept for 3 days. It feels like you slept for like a really good quality 10 hours.
Ah.
So we got that nice, fully rested sensation with that bitter aftertaste of slept just a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
The best kind of feeling.
Well,
Out of
I guess.
character, did we get her name?
You have not asked.
As is our tradition.
Yep.
You told me over the week, and I can't remember. Sorry.
Well, you saved our lives, and we don't even know your name.
Well, I guess, to be fair, you guys kind of saved mine first. She'll kind of extend a hand to half shake yours slash half pick you up, or help you up, and she'll say, I'm Manju, that 23rd daughter of the Avari here.
Daughter of out of character. He's not obviously asking to repeat, but a daughter of what?
The
23rd
Avari.
daughter.
Yeah, the Avari being their name for dark elves.
Ah. Well, I am Vinali. It's a pleasure to formally make your acquaintance.
Yeah, she'll kind of look around at all of you and say, well, I don't think there was much of an opportunity for proper introductions at the base camp, but you all held your own in that battle more than I could have hoped.
More than the Grove Tender.
Too soon. Oh yeah, it was no big deal. Mitty will say as he stretches out his shoulder, kind of wincing in pain a little bit from the ass whooping he had achieved.
Yeah, it's all go. Where's my hat? Hey, hang on. And Mitch will just dive under the covers and looking for her hat.
Yeah, she hadn't taken it off you, but definitely there's some scattered belongings and stuff, and you straighten and make yourself more presentable.
Yep.
As you guys are starting to pick up and you see like the bedding and stuff fall beside you, Conry, you will see right to the left of your bedroll, still tucked like under the blankets, there's a good a foot long staff, like a partial staff made of wood with like a black, almost like match top on top of it.
Interesting. What is this?
You do not recognize it as one of your belongings.
Looks like a stick.
I like sticks.
I'm aware it's a stick. Why is it here? It's not mine. Is it any of yours?
Let me see.
Connery will hand the stick to him.
It appears to be a stick. It's smooth to the touch, obviously carved and polished, but none of you recognize it. And Manju, standing to the side, sort of ponders and says, I don't recognize it either. It must have been among your belongings.
Can Mish sense any magic coming off of it?
Do you have a detect magic spell?
No, but I have a 6 in Arcana.
You do not detect any magic coming off of it. I should say, it's not like aggressively magical, if that makes sense.
So it's passively magical. Got it.
Aggressively magical.
Nothing about it, even for your arcane skill, makes you like, I'm certain that this is a +1 rod of blasting.
Is that what it is?
No.
Oh.
Like, are there any markings? Are there any runes? Or is it just like an oddly smooth stick?
It is a dark wood rod, about 1 foot long, and it has on one end of it what looks like a match top, perfectly smooth and black.
Hey, so I guess it's a giant torch. Okay.
I wouldn't recommend lighting mysterious objects that appear in our belongings on fire.
What, you've never done?
Especially not when we've just had run-ins with multiple deities, or at least visions of them?
Fine.
Manju kind of tightens the leather jerkin she's wearing over her shoulders and says, "Well, if you all are good enough to travel, can we get out of the Whitewood?"
Yeah, fair enough.
I can hear them groaning. This is unnaturally aggressive for them, too.
Okay, well, she will lead you out of the guard tower. As you step out into the frozen over forest, the diamond shards of grass, once again in a familiar for most of you, new for Connery way, crack and crunch beneath your feet. It's like you're walking on a softer bed of needles, in that it doesn't stab your feet, but it definitely is not comfy ground. You come out and you see the white and blue trees covered in frost, and you look into the center up ahead, and you do see, even from this distance, not probably only around 100 feet away from this guard tower, hiding in the tree line, you see the shambling skeletal figures native to the Whitewood.
What are those?
Undead. Whites.
Okay. I shouldn't be surprised by things.
Yeah, so, let's leave them alone for now. As much as I'd like to go fight them, we just woke up from a nap.
Also, I get the sense that you could stay here forever and you would never run out of undead to fight.
Yeah.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
But... battle maniacs, I swear.
But Manju sort of takes the lead, and looking at them, the undead will say, I've been the past couple days trying to establish a perimeter. If they get closer than that, I've been dissuading them. Let's try and go this way. And she'll take you guys to the side and then start to skirt around the conglomeration of them.
Oh, hold on a sec. Before we leave, he'll look over to Vinali. You think we should let Winter know that we may have forestalled her situation?
Well, it might be worth doing, but I have a sneaking suspicion that there's a reason we all woke up here. Might be her influence.
But I'd rather not her worry him, still. That kind of anxiety is not good for someone.
True.
Well, Manju, do you feel up to meeting a deity?
Well, I don't think we need to go there. I think I can get the message across loud enough.
You're just going to shout.
Why would you want to shout here?
Well, what's going to happen? It's
You
not like
attract undead?
Damned.
And we just kind of, got up? And I'd rather we not get put back down?
He'll be fine. You
How many
worry too
times have
much,
you
man.
said that How many times have you said that in the past few days and things have not gone fine?
I'm still alive, aren't I?
I mean, we slept for 3 days, so nothing has been said the past few days.
Ugh.
That's a valid point.
Fine.
So, Mitty will kind of plant his feet, take a deep breath in, and then belt from the top of his lungs to Winter. We think we might have put a stall to whatever's troubling you. On our way to put a permanent solution together.
Okay. As Mitty, oh, sorry.
Is this loud enough that it would have hurt Connery's ears?
I was gonna say, as Mitty roars out like the bear he is, like those of you with more sensitive hearing kind of duck back, and Connery's ears like fold down on his head. The roar rattles some ice and frost off of the canopy above you.
Jeez.
Mitty's got
Aw.
some lungs.
It's like 3
I've
times the
noticed.
size of us. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What you don't know is Mitty is 80% diaphragm.
But you're out. Hello, Sonny. There is no immediate response. Make a insight check for me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Taking a bit more stock of your surroundings here. You recognize where you are. This is the guard tower you guys have stayed before. And you notice that the undead are not all around the tower. They're in the direction that you're pointing towards to talk to Winter. And they all seem to be huddling there, and even more come out at your call, but they don't approach closer. But they're all tucked tight into the trees that lead right to the very heart of the forest.
I think you made your point.
I wonder why she's summoning so many corpses to her.
It definitely gives you vibes as if they're guarding it.
I don't think she's under attack right now, do you?
I mean, wouldn't you have been the first to know?
Well, Manju did say she was killing lots of undead. Might
Maybe
be
she's
a
just
case of mistaken identity.
Manju kind of looks a little startled and said, "Well, that's what we do when they. You know the Whitewood's dangerous, right?"
No, we're not saying you're in the wrong. We're just
Not
saying
on purpose.
Well, here's the thing. Did any of them actually aggressively come out after you? Or were they just like passively lumbering around?
Not me. It was you five. They all tried to carry you off.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she was just worried for us.
Yeah,
Manju
May
just
have made friends with the thing in the center of the wood.
Manju just kind of quirks an eyebrow up and looks at you all like you grew third eyes, and she's
Hey, I'm not a part of this. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we made friends with a big scary thing in the woods. It's fine.
you think you made friends with the Winter Seed.
Well, not us particular. This big guy.
Maybe Nolly, too.
Well, she really seems to like you the most.
Which is honestly peculiar given your particular relationship, but maybe that's why.
Huh?
Long story.
Question it. Don't think too hard. You'll just give yourself a headache.
Uh, uh, long story short, our ancestors kind of screwed the winter seed over, and well, what we're surrounded by is the ramification of our ancestors' idiocracy. And say idiocy.
I mean, you'd still be correct.
Huh.
Manju just kind of like unnotches the arrow she had prepared and puts it back into her quiver. And when the Infernalist was arguing with the Blood Representative about a group of surface dwellers that went to Vishaji with my dad, how did you come down here and turn everything on its head?
Not on purpose.
Well, it involved some falling.
And I'm sorry, did you just say your dad?
Wait,
Yeah, you went to Vishaji with our... Right?
Arjune's kid?
Obviously.
I don't know how that's obvious, but interesting.
He's the only eligible sire left of our people. He's the one that's fathering all of us.
Oh.
Eh?
Well, shit, I think we just found a way to pay back Arjune for all his help.
She kind of looks to the side and is like muttering. They make friends with the Winter Seed, but don't know the first thing about Avari culture.
Yeah, if you haven't realized, we're idiots.
Well, to be fair, your dad hasn't made it that easy. He's a bit secretive, that one. Had to pull teeth to get some answers.
Not
Not
literally.
literally, not literally.
Yeah, he's a bit stiff, but you don't live for 2,000 years by trusting easily.
Makes sense.
Mitty will let out a loud whistle at that. Explains why he's got so much smarts to him.
That reminds me, I do have some notes to give to him.
Well, unless you want to go, magic your way into the heart of the wood, we can go.
I'm concerned with the Winter Seed, so kind of want to check in to make sure that she's not under attack.
Right, because, so, you said you've been here for a while, right? While watching over us, as it were?
The better part of 2.5 days, yeah.
So, has the amount of undead been unusually high, or just about on par for what's been going on?
Well, I don't exactly make a habit of patrolling the Whitewood.
Oh.
It's more of the walkers than I've ever seen before, but I'm not sure that counts for much.
As long as they don't start mumbling something about an Iron Throne, you're fine.
I think we're overthinking this. I think it's just that they perceived a threat where there was none, and now they're being a bit defensive.
Yeah. Also, Ren, this is where I gotta bounce.
Alrighty.
Alright. Well, pleasure meeting you, and I hope I'll be back before session ends.
Nice to meet you too.
Later.
Good night, dude.
Good night.
When I screamed it out, or screamed out my what I said to the Winter, did the undead make like any noticeable changes in courses or anything, or were they still kind of just like rising and walking towards her?
The ones that were at the tree line have stayed at the tree line and made no motion or even like reaction that they heard anything. At the noise, a few more came running out of deeper in the woods and came in like filled formation, but that's been the only change.
Okay, I get it now. So
They weren't going in towards her, they were coming out at the noise.
yeah, okay, that was my mistake. I thought they were like piling into the center of the forest.
Gotcha. No, it looks like they are coming out.
Okay.
And we can come back when there's more significant news to pass along to her.
You're right. I just hopefully wanted to alleviate some worry.
She's made it like 10,000 years. I think she can probably go a few more days.
Here's hoping. Anyways, we should probably get this one to her dad.
Agreed.
Alright, Manju leads you continuing through the Whitewood. Seems, like I said, a little exasperated at these surface dwellers who think they can walk around unimpeded in the Whitewood now. But other than that, she'll take you towards the Bastille Rock, the home of the builders. You'll be traveling for a good couple of hours. Actually, it might start to get late by the time you get there, late into the early morning. But at that point, why don't we take a 5 or 10 minute break and we'll meet back.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.